The Daily Diet with Malik Shakir.
So you know what I'm saying? I don't really look at it like that. That's where I'm okay. I'm pro-American type of
I
spiel. You know
get
what
you,
I mean? Where
but it's
because I don't look at it
conditions.
like that.
But it's conditioned. I know
hmm
it's your tax dollars, but it's
hmm
conditioned as well.
Yeah, but those conditions can be altered in your favor for sure.
In a woman's favor, yeah.
No, in the man's favor too.
I mean, I guess you can get them,
Yeah, man, I got like $900 worth of food stamps.
but you got kids. I'm saying, but you got kids and stuff, right?
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. I'm talking about a single woman will say, I
So
don't need no man for nothing.
I see what you're saying. It's just the man. When you say the man, I don't want the man to be because I don't know. I feel like I'm defeated when when the man is the government, right? When I'm like, wait a minute, I can manipulate laws too if I could play their system the same way. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
you can,
Just
but
like,
it's not. But that's
mhm.
you have to have the knowledge to do that. But
Yeah.
psychologically, the masses are
hmm
tricked. They don't believe
Oh,
that they
I
could.
see.
They
I
don't
see.
believe that
I,
they can.
I
You know
see. I
that.
see
hmm
where you're going with it.
Yeah, you
Right.
know that.
I see
But the masses don't know that.
what I see. And I agree with both you guys. And you guys actually saying the same thing. But I think I think this is my 2 cents, of course. What I think Mula and both you guys are saying is, yeah, man can take advantage of it, but he has to acquire the knowledge and the know-how. Just having the knowledge don't do it. You got to actually have the know-how.
hmm
But the woman don't even need all that. She can
hmm
She just in that position.
she's going to get assistance and don't even
hmm
need to know how to do it. She can hear it from like the next, oh girl, I
hmm
call this number right
hmm
now. I'm kind of in the middle of that because
hmm
I'm undecided is what I was lazy. I'm undecided on this
In the
because
middle is the same thing as undecided. It's actually a little better because it's a common word used to explain it to a lot of people that you're undecided for sure. It was a good word.
but I rather say I'm undecided because that way you know that I'm looking at. I haven't made my mind up on if I should adopt a different way of thinking.
When you say you're in the middle, I think you're working it out. You see what I'm saying? When you say I'm in the middle, it's like I'm working it out. When you say I'm undecided, it feels like you already concluded.
No, I'm undecided. That's kind of interesting to say I'm concluded when I'm
Because I'm
undecided.
in the middle of it is you're going somewhere, right? Like you're driving. Like I'm in the beginning, I'm in the middle, I'm in the end. I'm kind of in the middle of this thing. Like we're traveling because right now
I know,
you're
but
trying to.
that's why it was an incorrect word because I'm not in the middle. What I really meant to say is I see both sides, and middle involves you involved in it, right? So I'm not even involved in. I'm just listening to the conversation, y'all. But I'm seeing both sides, and I'm seeing like on what I'm undecided on where I want my mind to sit right now because what
And you're in
Weatherman
the
is saying
process
is
of making the decision, right?
I don't know because
You
I
don't
wasn't even
know.
thinking about it until y'all brought this up.
I got you. Cool.
Right. So
Okay, I
until y'all
feel
brought
you.
it up, now see this is so the interesting thing is I'm so busy.
hmm
That's why it's good to have these conversations. That I'm so busy, I forget about other stuff. I've been straight business for the past 3 or 4 weeks. I haven't even been. I've been focusing on like just business. I haven't even been getting to like what I need to be getting to. So when I hear Weatherman saying it's systemic, it's throughout. You know, it's these things are in place on purpose, systemic, right? And then I hear you say, yeah, but if I view it as systemic, it feels defeating because then it feels like I can't change it. And I'm like, yeah, both of them things are right because if you if you if you keep saying it's systemic and the piece that's missing is how do you change the system, then you almost get stuck with feeling defeated because you're like, God damn, like this shit is too big, right? So as this is a question to both you guys, I can recognize you need the systemic. You need to recognize the systemic just to begin to fix it, right?
hmm
But
hmm
if we add in or begin the conversation, how do we change the system? Now that's take work because just building the system took work.
hmm
And look at how long this has lasted. Weatherman, you got the numbers on when welfare started, when EBT started.
Ooh.
If you don't pull it up real quick, because I
Hold on.
know you quick at finding it.
Let me go grab my other
So
phone.
okay, So when all this stuff started, whenever it started, you can imagine it took 20, 30 maybe years just to get in the works. So it's interesting. See, this is an interesting thing to talk about because I don't know where I sit on this,
August
man. I don't know
14th,
if
1935, President Roosevelt released the Social Security Act into law.
What is the Social Security Act?
Well, I just plain Googled when did welfare start, and then the first thing that came up was that was the Social Security Act. Now let me go dive in a little deeper and see what was a part of that. Aid for dependent children, supplemental security income, so that's SSI, the food stamp program, which began later. That began in 1965.
So the food stamp program, 1965.
Yeah.
So, okay.
Medicaid.
Okay, yeah.
It was also in 1965.
Social Security Act started in 1935.
Okay.
So I get what you're saying.
So, but the food stamp part of it started 30 years later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In 65.
Okay. So it looks like it might have
64. 65.
Could be that they were thinking about it, but didn't know how to implement it in 35. And so it was just a program in the works. Or it could be that it wasn't needed at that time, but it was needed in 65. So some genius person added that in.
Right. So the problem that we're going to continue to face as a culture, as Black people, is that if you give aid without knowledge, we're going to continue to say that the aid is systemic. And so we really need more knowledge than aid than anything, because if we have knowledge, we'll be able to use the system in order to get what we need. If we had all these brothers right here that understand like how we understand at a higher level, we're already knowing how to use the system to our advantage. That's what America is, right? That's what is bred on, using the system to your advantage, so that's why I firmly believe that, again, if we say we get aid without any like education, changing the way that we're taught as African Americans, then we're going to always feel that the aid is like, why are you giving me this? Are you giving me this to trap my household? Are you giving me this? Because to be honest, when I saw it at 1965, I thought it was earlier than that. So, we got to give it the context as well as going on in the 60s as well. But to 1965, I don't even think that that was long enough to really have that much of an impact in terms of that. I think that's something that we look at. We're looking at and making it something to victimize us when I don't really see how food stamps could do that when there's countries that give their entire country food stamps and they give their entire country free healthcare, food stamps, free transportation.
What was going on at that time in the 60s? If you can recall, was like the civil rights.
Neither one of y'all was born.
No, I know that, but I'm saying I know like the history of it, like civil rights and stuff was going on, like it was a lot of black families were supporting the movement. You know what I'm saying? Like black families was together then. It wasn't a lot of single mothers. It was actual families back then. You get what I'm saying? So
and you got to remember that propaganda was pushed on not just the African American community, but that propaganda was pushed on America.
What propaganda?
Okay, I'm gonna get to it. It's called like the Roaring '60s and Roaring '60s, which everyone had to have a house, a car, a dog, and the mom stayed at home. That was propaganda pushed on the United States after World War II, because in World War II, they actually needed women to actually work at that time. So, because men were out and fighting the war, so they made women go back out to the workforce, and they put propaganda in, like the Wonder Woman picture that she got her arm up like the woman with muscles. You can work these factory jobs while your man goes save the war. Then post World War II, they started to go back to that family household structure. And if we take the stats out right now, we look at the stats, you can see not only the African American culture is affected by single family and divorce. That's an American thing.